Thank you for logging on to this Bluffton High School sports broadcast, brought to you by WellsCountyVoice.com, a division of the Voice Enterprises. This broadcast wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsors you hear throughout the game, so be sure to visit their businesses and use their services as often as possible, and tell them thanks for their support. We encourage you to go to the games and support your local team, but when you just can't make it, we're here for you. Now it's time for the pregame show on WellsCountyVoice.com.
Welcome, Bluffton Tigers sports fans. Bluffton Tigers baseball here on this early Saturday morning. Norwell Knights have come across over from Ossian to fill in from a washed-out doubleheader a couple weekends ago. We're going to play one, assuming we find some umpires. Hey, look, there they are, right on time at 10:10, which is just about the time we typically see umpire. No, I'm kidding. They're never here real early, though.
No. Well, they're getting paid by the hour, Scott.
Not like us dedicated broadcast crews who get here an hour early to make sure we have no technical issues to deal with. I am delighted to be joined by Greg Van Meter, the voice of Norwell. Derek Decker, where is Derek?
Derek, I believe, is umpiring today. Big tournament up north.
Man, he does it all.
He does do it all, and actually, you could honestly say Derek has been the voice of Norwell baseball this spring.
Norwell baseball, for sure.
And has done a wonderful job. It's great to join you here on this beautiful, warm, sunny May
day. Shout out to Coach Harold. He saw that I had a short-sleeve shirt, and he gave me a Bluffton Tiger sweatshirt to put on. Now, the key is, will he get it back? That's really the question.
Can I take a bet on that?
Well, Greg, it's been
wonderful to join you.
It's been a long time since you and I have done a game together.
It has been.
I'm trying to think back to the actual last baseball game we've done together, and I think it was actually the state final down at Victory Field.
Yeah, I think you're right. And as happenstance would have it, I was actually at Victory Field last night. A little bit different seat from where we were at there, but, I think that's right. So that's been almost 4 years ago.
And speaking of that, as you were telling me before the game started, the weather today is about 55 temperature, feels like about 46 when you were at Victory Field the other day.
Last night, 72 degrees and a light breeze, clear sky. There's just a dividing line between Indianapolis and actually Anderson was where I noticed it was really cooled off.
So the good news today is you've got Greg and I, so the quality level jumps significantly. The bad news is that Greg is doing the scorekeeping, which means I'm going to operate totally in the blind here without information in front of me. Well, so I'm sure I'll get a lot of things wrong today.
I'll make sure to put this in your purview.
Yeah, the other bad thing is that half the scorebook is in my handwriting, which Greg cannot read at all, which actually nobody can read.
So I'm deferring all names to Scott.
That's right. Well, it's great to be here, and sectionals coming up. Tigers drew South Adams. That game is on the 25th, and it's going to be at Canterbury High School. And, the press box at Canterbury, there is no press box at Canterbury. We'll actually be sitting behind home plate, and since it's South Adams, we'll have like 13 media outlets there broadcasting the game.
And South Adams is a solid baseball club this year.
And, of course, you, as always, will be, or Norwell, I don't know whether you're going to be.
We'll be outside as well.
At Belmont. So we always get the greatest digs.
Yeah, they choose those sites mainly based on, do you have lights? That's the big thing, and there just aren't that many high school fields with lighting.
It used to be that the Bluffton sectional games were at Indiana Tech, which is a great location, great press box. We even can put cameras up on top of the press box, and now I'm at Canterbury.
Yeah, it's certainly a change. Well, and the reality is that there are a number of great venues, and Huntington University, for example, I know has offered to be a postseason site for the IHSAA, but that's in a committee that will probably make a decision somewhere around 2037. So there are some great venues, Indiana Tech, as you mentioned, and so forth, but unable to be taken advantage of to this point in time.
Let's bring you the starting lineups. Greg, I'll let you do the Norwell lineup.
All right. Leading off and at shortstop today for the Knights is number 5, Caleb Kohler, batting second. And playing second, number 16, Garrett Waybright, and we'll probably be interrupted. There it is, the national anthem.
Well, we cannot broadcast that since it's a copyright issue. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. Be right back.
Bluffton Tire, you know where they're located. Across the street from Bummy's, right at the entrance to the 4-H park, has been serving Wells County for over 50 years. Bluffton Tire needs to be the first stop for brakes, struts, front-end alignment, and offers over 20 different brands of tires. Stop by and see Kerry Jennis today or visit online at BlufftonTire.com for online specials and coupons. Bluffton Tire is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hi, this is Kerry Jennis at Bluffton Tire, and we'll keep you going.
Hi, this is Dale from the Voice Enterprises. For countless years, I struggled with back pain, and more often than not, the doctors would just prescribe pain meds, which would just dull the pain. It wasn't until I was referred to Indiana Physical Therapy that I truly experienced pain relief. The professionals at IPT showed me the correct exercises and stretches for my problems, and my back pain began to fade away, and as a result, my entire body began to feel better. Indiana Physical Therapy's highly trained professionals treat all types of injuries and ailments and accept all insurance. For more information on IPT or to schedule an appointment, call 824-0522 or visit indianapt.com.
Hey, welcome back. Back to the Norwell starting 9.
Well, we'll go back to the top since we only got a couple into it. Caleb Kohler is leading off, playing short. We're in number 5 today. Number 16, playing second and batting second, is Garrett Waybright. Batting third and doing the catching, number 13, Colin Schwartz. In the cleanup spot, it's the pitcher, number 1, Quentin Middleton. Batting fifth and playing first, number 34, Levi Leidig. And batting sixth and playing left field, number 11, Ian Clark. Batting seventh, playing third, number 6, Garrison Breggy. Batting eighth and playing second base is wearing number 4. He's in center field is Levi Leidig, and in right field, number 12, Tyler Skiles.
And for the Tigers defensively, on the pitching mound today is going to be number 4, Gavin King. Around the horn at first base will be number 7, Max Coral. Second baseman, number 19, Gabe Eisenhut at shortstop. This morning is going to be number 14, Mitchell Kohlenbeck, and at third base, number 11, Everett Johnson. Around the outfield, in the left is going to be number 12, Connor Norman. Center fielder, Dominic Hohola. And in right field, number 6, Landon Harris. That's your Tigers defensively. And leading off for the Norwell Knights will be Caleb Kohler. And I'll turn over the play-by-play for the Knights over to Greg.
Well, and this is a little bit different lineup than what I'm used to seeing. Usually Trevor Wilson is leading off and playing center field for Coach McLean. I don't know if that foot is still bothering him. He banged a foul tip off his foot earlier in the season, and I'm wondering if that's not right yet. That was several weeks ago. It was the first pitch in there outside for ball 1 to Kohler.
The wind blowing out of the east here, which is a little bit unusual in this ballpark. It's usually kind of blowing across the outfield towards the west. But coming out of the east, about 11 miles per hour, gusting up to 16.
Yeah, and that flag out in center field is pretty stiff right now as the 2-0 pitch is fouled off. The left-hander Gavin King on the mound for the Tigers. King is, of course, just a sophomore. Also plays in the outfield when he's not pitching. Here's the 2-1 delivery. He's fouled straight back by Kohler, and that evens up the count at 2-2.
Tigers coming off a game Thursday they want to forget about. Homestead came in. 21-1 was your final. They put up 14 runs in the top of the first.
Well, the Knights also have had some defeats lately that they would like to forget about, as after starting the season 10-0, they're 14-6, as that pitch was just inside. King thought he had him. Counts all full here, and that pitch is in the dirt. That'll be a leadoff walk for Caleb Kohler.
Yeah, and certainly something that Coach Harrell doesn't want to see here in the top of the first. Tigers in that top of the first against Homestead walked 6 batters in the top of the first alone.
Yeah, walks will always come back to haunt you no matter what level you're at, but especially at the high school level, as Garrett Waybright steps in from the right side. There goes Kohler on the first pitch. It's grounded back to the mound. King fumbles it a little bit and is able to get Waybright at first on the 1-3 putout. Kohler, moving on the pitch, moves up to second.
So is that a design hit and run, Greg?
I think that was a hit and run. And the right side was open. Garrett just rolled over it a little bit as Colin Schwartz steps in. Schwartz has been one of the better offensive performers for the Knights this year throughout the season, right-handed batter. Large young man. He's going to play football at the next level.
Yeah, I heard he had some interest from Trine. Has he made a...
Yeah, he's, I believe it's Defiance over in Ohio is where he's going to...
So has he signed with Defiance?
Yeah, he committed to them. Kohler, the leadoff batter, out at second base with one out. And boy, that wind's not letting up at all, Scott. In fact, I'd say it's picking up.
Yeah, no, it certainly looks more than 11 miles per hour right now.
It sure does. I'm very happy to be up here in the booth with you. At this point, we've got the windows closed, and they're going to stay that way.
Yes, they are.
As Schwartz takes a strike that looked to be a bit of a slurve from King, caught the inside corner. Well located. It was at the knees. As Kohler's being held on out there by Eisenhut. King wants to reset and he wants the catcher to come out and go through the signs with him.
So the Knights drew Mrs. Sinoa, I think, in the first game. Is that right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I think that's probably the championship game in that particular sectional. So playing it early. Certainly, I think the best two teams this year are playing in that game.
Really, it's interesting because Mrs. Sinoa is on the Tigers' schedule. They came here for a doubleheader, and Tigers picked up their first win of the season against Ole Miss.
Right, yeah, we were surprised by that. Derek and I talked about it, that we really it's so hard to tell with those teams in the middle of the state because the competition level does not necessarily reflect the quality of their wins. As King's 2-1 pitch bounces in the dirt, it's 3-1 now to Schwartz, and good at bat going here for Colin. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I just don't see any other team in that particular sectional that's...
How is the Belmont squad this year?
Belmont is really down as that ball's grounded to short by Schwartz. Good throw over by... Kuhlenbeck to get the out as Kohler moves up to third. 2 down here in the top of the first. Belmont is just has I believe they've only got 2 seniors on that squad, and they have I don't know that they have too many wins this year on their record. Quentin Middleton steps in. He'll start on the mound today for Coach McLean and flies the first pitch out to right field. Should be routine, and it is hauled in by Harris out there. That'll end the top half of the first inning. The Knights get a runner. They leave him on, and no errors or runs. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Every team knows that the three-point play can be a winning move. That's why State Farm and me, Kevin Beatty, and my team are here to help you go for 3 by combining your home, auto, and life insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home, auto, and life. It's just another way we're here to help things go right. So call me, State Farm Agent Kevin Beatty, at 824-1928 or in Bern at 589-2077.
The Bowling Center in Bluffton has Friday Night Trio League for ages 4 through 19 with sign-ups going on now. This 10-week league is at 7 p.m. on Fridays for $8.25 per week for 3 games and shoes. Also on Friday, it's Friday Fun from noon to 6 p.m. Bowl for just $1 and shoe rental is only 50 cents. The Bowling Center, 1231 South Scott Street in Bluffton. Visit bowlbluffton.com.
T.W. Fable, a modern American restaurant, is now open at Timber Ridge Golf Course, 2330 East, 250 North in Bluffton, and it's bigger and better than ever. You can enjoy the same fine dining experience Tuesday through Thursday, 5 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 5 to 10. Reservations are recommended by calling 260-353-1360. Everyone is welcome at T.W. Fable.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. Knights failed to score in the top of the first for the Tigers here in the bottom. Gavin King, Max Coral, and Mitchell Kohlenbeck. Facing the right-hander, Quentin Middleton. Again, Tigers looking to bounce back from a tough game against Homestead. Both teams looking towards sectionals next week. Tigers open up against South Adams. The Knights will open up against Old Miss. And we're certainly hoping, as we will both be outdoors next week, that it's a little warmer than the current 50-some degrees, feeling like mid-40s.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the forecast, of course, it can obviously change over the next 5 days, but it does not look good right now. It doesn't look
good at all.
50 and rain on Wednesday.
King steps in for the Tigers. Gavin, starting pitcher here this morning, takes the first pitch on the inside corner at the knees, called strike. No ball is 1 strike to Gavin King.
Gavin is a bit of an anomaly. Left-handed thrower, right-handed batter. Don't see that combination very often.
Ball bounces up there. It's 1-1.
The last kid I remember that was that way actually was Ryan Otis.
Ryan Otis,
2008 graduate at Norwell.
Ground ball, hard hit to third. Nice scoop, pick up and thrown across the diamond for the out. Garrison Breggy
made a nice play on that ball. He was playing up near the grass. We got a slow track today here at Bluffton, and good pick.
Number 7, Max Coral, the starting first baseman, steps to the plate. Nobody on, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first. No score. Knights did get a base runner in the top. And a called strike to Coral.
Well, that pitch was middle.
The 0-1 pitch. Slow ground ball to short. Don't have to hurry. Hard throw over to first. Nice play by the shortstop, Kohler, and there's 2 down. And then I'll bring up the senior, number 14, Mitchell Kohlenbeck.
This is a young Bluffton squad.
Only 2 seniors, Greg. Mitchell and Bobby Levis, the other senior. Coach Harold having to go with a lot of sophomores in this lineup.
Mm-hmm. That bodes well for the future for the Tigers.
Good pitch on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. No ball is 1 strike. Middleton hitting his first pitches here early. The 0-1 pitch to Kohlenbeck. Spat out of play. Kohlenbeck in the hole, 0-2.
Yeah, that's a good call, Scott. He's throwing first pitch strikes to the first 3 batters he's faced here.
Yeah, boy, that's so important, especially in high school ball. Get that first pitch across the plate, get up in the count. The 0-2 to Kohlenbeck. Reaches out and just gets a piece of it. It'll stay 0-2.
Yeah, Kohlenbeck did a good job of getting his bat on that slider curve. Actually, it's hard to define from here what that is. It doesn't have the downward break of a curveball.
Here's the 0-2 pitch from Middleton. Fouled off again. Stays 0-2.
Yeah, good battle here by Kohlenbeck.
2 outs, bases empty here in the bottom of the first. 295 down the lines here at Bluffton. Good park. They hit the ball deep. The 0-2 again. Line drive towards second. Knocked down, picked up, shuffled over. That's a good play by the second baseman, Way Bright. Way to stick with it. Tigers go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We finished 1 here at Bluffton High School. We'll head to the second. No score.
Troxel Equipment offers a full line of John Deere equipment. Troxel Equipment features a large inventory of all makes and models of pre-owned equipment that has been well maintained and ready for service. Most of Troxel's pre-owned equipment was traded in from owner-operators. Be sure to ask about our certified pre-owned units. Troxel Equipment has the ability to customize your financing, lease, or installment contracts to meet your cash flow needs. Visit any of our 3 locations in Bluffton, Huntington, or Wabash, or check out our website for our inventory of new and pre-owned equipment. Troxel Equipment, the dealership you can trust.
Located in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the University of St. Francis is a private Catholic university enrolling 2,300 students in majors ranging from the liberal arts to the creative arts to the health services. Small class sizes, personal attention, and the freedom to explore your options. A USF education has a lot to offer. Visit their beautiful campus and see for yourself how you can be a part of the University of St. Francis. Visit sf.edu to learn more about the University of St. Francis.
Welcome back. Top of the second. We'll throw it back over to Greg. Norwell Knights coming up.
Now King will face Levi Long, Ian Clark, and Garrison Breggy at the minimum here in the top of the second. No score. Both pitchers effective early. Not a strikeout yet on the board, but they've done a good job of inducing a weak contact as Long steps in, the first baseman for the Knights. The first pitch from King almost hits him as it goes to the backstop.
Well, we talked about first pitches, and Quentin, first pitch strikes to every one of the batters. I think Gavin, I don't know if Gavin's turned a first pitch strike yet.
Right. But he's gotten out 3 of the 4 Knights he's faced, as that pitch is high and away for ball 2. Again, not a lot of solid contact so far in this one. King, the left-handed sophomore, into his wind, and the 2-0 is over the head of everybody. That's a 3-0 count now to Long. Ian Clark waiting on deck. Ian getting more at-bats now as the season has transpired. He's had some success. He's got power in that bat as he's in the on-deck circle, and Long takes a 3-0 pitch for a strike at the top of the zone. Boy, it's hard to watch umpires with gloves and heavy coats on here. May 19th, or excuse me, May 20th.
Well, you know, especially from this perspective, the one thing I really appreciate by this particular umpire is we get hand signals.
Yes, that is nice.
When you're looking at the back of an umpire and he doesn't have a hand signal and he doesn't give a hard call, sometimes you don't know whether it's a called ball or straight.
Yeah, and especially as that pitch is fouled off by Long, the count remains full, especially at the high school level. Unfortunately, a lot of them watch pro ball, and so you get that strike count or ball count, as that's the first strike out of the game. Long chasing a pitch just off the plate for strike 3. But, and you've seen this, Scott, the umps will pause, strike. Well, by that time, we've already made a call.
Right.
So we do appreciate this particular home plate umpire being prompt and courteous with his hand signals. As Clark takes the first pitch again inside, that looked to be a bit of a breaking ball there from King.
And from all the other umpires that I'm sure are listening right now, every once in a while it would be nice to see the count, just to make sure that we've got it right.
There's a shot into left center field just over the head of Kuhlenbeck. That'll be the first hit of the ball game. Ian Clark comes through with a line drive. And that ball was pretty well struck, but as you could see on that, Scott, it didn't go very far.
That's right. I thought Mitchell was going to spear that for a second, but just got by him.
Here's the reality. These BB Core bats, below about 60, 65 degrees, they don't perform. I mean, they're significantly worse than wood. As the first pitch is, I don't know where that was, but it was called a ball to Garrison Brady.
Right, see, that's the exact point, right?
Yeah.
Now, if we know he doesn't give a definitive strike hand call, we guess.
And it looked like a pretty good pitch from here, as King brings it to Breggy as he swings through it. 1-1 count now to Breggy with Ian Clark on first base. Ian with I'd say about an average lead over there. 1 foot outside the cut, 1 foot inside. That slider floats outside to Breggy. Levi Leidig waits on deck. Tyler Skiles in the hole.
So power-wise, how is this Norwell lineup?
Not a lot of pop. Schwartz has hit several home runs. Trevor Wilson, I believe, actually might lead the team. He's hit at least a couple. As that pitch catches the outside corner, that'll even up the count at 2-2. Boy, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I've not been at every game, but I don't know that they've hit many home runs at all this year. As that pitch is fouled away by Breggy, that'll keep the count at 2-2. It's just a different lineup, a different set of skills for this Norwell squad this year from maybe what we've seen in the past. That pitch is fouled off over the Bluffton dugout again. Breggy hanging tough, swinging from the left side. He's just a sophomore. But I'll tell you from what I've seen of this kid this year, Scott, plays an excellent third base. You've already seen him make one good play this.
That was a nice play. Absolutely.
Another 2-2 pitch off the outside corner. Good take. That'll fill the count. And it'll be interesting to see whether Coach McLean has Clark moving on this pitch. Wouldn't surprise me at all if he starts him. Nope. Has another one fouled off by Breggy. That's the 8th pitch of the at-bat.
These teams met, I think it was last weekend, in fact, up at Garrett.
Yes.
Kind of a little 4-team tournament that Garrett holds up there.
Mm-hmm.
And both teams picking up the kind of opening round win, faced off in the championship game. There goes the runner.
As that's flown down the left side, Clark will head back to first base. Quite a battle here between Breggy and King as Breggy chases down the loose ball about halfway between first and second. You only see that at the high school level.
That's certainly true.
There are people paid to pick those up, even in college. So another 3-2 pitch from King to Breggy coming up, and it is fouled away again.
Wow, how many pitches have we thrown at this plate appearance?
That is 10 to this point. Breggy really battling. He's up the front of the box. I think he's trying to catch that breaking ball before it can do much. Here's another payoff pitch from King, and outside, great at bat.
Yeah, it really is.
By Garrison Breggy. He draws the walk and wins the battle. 2 nights on here with 1 out in the top of the second. That'll bring up Levi Leidig. Leidig, of course, this is the first sport he's played since injuring his knee early in the football season last year. Excellent athlete, playing center field today. The great thing about him coming back, Scott, is he doesn't appear to have lost any speed with that knee surgery as he takes strike one.
Yeah, that's something, having never gone through a major surgery or major injury like that, I'm always amazed that they can pick right back up and perform at the high level that they do.
Well, that's a testament to the work that they put in rehab, because it's all about the rehab. Now, it also helps to be 17, 18 years old.
That's right. You're a little faster than those that are.
That's right. If his injury had happened to one of us, Scott, we would still be in a wheelchair. As Leidig down in the count 0-2, and he takes strike three.
See, now I would have thought that pitch was a little low.
Yeah, I would have as well. Instead, it's the second strikeout of the inning and game for Gavin King, and he's got a chance to get out of this Norwell threat with Tyler Skiles stepping up. 2 down, Clark at second, and Breggy at first. Skiles steps in and swings at the first offering from King. Good curveball, back foot. Skiles had a huge hit up at the Snyder game a few weeks ago. That was a beautiful evening, by the way. But big-time triple that really secured the win for the Knights in that one. The 0-1 is outside and high.
This is a big plate appearance. You got number 9 batter, runners at first and second. Of course, if he gets on, you roll to the top of the order. If you're Gavin, you really want to punch this batter out. Yeah,
this is kind of a critical point early on in this one, as King will step off the back of the mound. Nobody holding on, Clark at second. I think King just wanting to keep him close, let him know he's there. It's not a big lead at first either, really, by Breggy. The 1-1 is grounded foul towards the Bluffton dugout, and King now ahead in the count. Oh, good arm there by, that must be the assistant coach.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Keeping score right there. Is that the head coach?
That's the head coach. That's Coach
Hurt.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. You can tell he's thrown a lot of BP as he fired it back to King at the mound. King with the 1-2 to Skiles. He takes it in the dirt, and that'll even it up to 2-2. That wind continues to
continuing to howl out
right
there.
Field. Yep, that's almost straight out of the east here at Bluffton. Over the right field wall. The 2-2 pitch is grounded up the middle. Should be playable. Second baseman with the soft toss to first. Gets Skiles and ends the inning. Boy, great job there by Gavin King to get out of any trouble at the Top of the second here, the Knights leave 2 on. No hits, no errors.
The new Kayla Nickel Foundation Family YMCA, 550 West Dustman Road in Bluffton, is now open and invites you to stop by and take a tour of the new facility. When you join the Y, you're not just a member of a facility, you're part of a community, surrounded by friends as well as caring and knowledgeable staff. Here are just a few of the benefits of joining the Y. Unlimited participation in group exercise classes, free child care while you work out, and free private health and wellness consultations. You don't want to miss out on all your local YMCA has to offer. To learn more, visit fwymca.org.
This is Dan and Jane with Daniel's Jewelers in Bluffton.
We want to remind everyone that we do in-house repair with our specialty being restoration and resetting.
Jewelry that is worn frequently over the years usually needs some TLC, wrong retipping, resetting, or sizing.
It's so much fun to see the customer's reaction when they see their jewelry looking almost brand new.
Or maybe it's time for a new style. Choose from all styles of settings or let us design one just for you.
Daniel's Jewelers, North Main Street, Bluffton, where personal attention and trust become part of the memory.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. No score as the Tigers bat in the bottom of the second. Clayton Thompson steps in, left-handed stick, facing Quentin Middleton. And they'll tap it, slow roller down the third. Breggy throws and got him, 1 down. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the second.
Well, you can tell there has been a ton of rain.
Yeah, this infield is slow anyway, but dump that much water on it, it's going to be really slow.
Yeah, Breggy had to go a ways to get that ball. Made a nice play.
And they'll bring to the plate third baseman number 11, Everett Johnson. 1 down, base is empty. We're in the bottom of the second. The pitch is high, and I think that's the first ball on a first pitch to a Bluffton batter.
You're exactly right, Scott. He threw first pitch strikes to the first 4 batters he faced.
Fouled off, that evens up the count, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on.
Middleton gets a new ball from the home plate umpire. Not that umpires ever look really happy, but these 2 particular umpires aren't. It's been a long season for them. Awful weather.
Yeah, awful weather.
And they do not look particularly thrilled to be out here today.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, I'm not quite sure. What is the rule on a rainout? If they show up, do they get paid? Do you know?
Not unless the game starts.
And that's drift foul down the first baseline. And Johnson will come back with the count remaining 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Johnson about 2 feet from having extra bases there down the right field line. The wind didn't help him at all, as it would exaggerate the spin on that ball from a right-handed batter.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Johnson. Heller on deck. 1-2 swing and a miss. Struck him out. First strikeout for Middleton. Second out of the inning. And Mason Heller, the catcher, to the plate.
Now batting number 23, Mason Heller.
Well, that's as many pitches as Middleton has thrown to 1 batter in this game. That 5-pitch battle there.
And Heller, first pitch swing, grounds to short. Good throw over by Kohler, and the Tigers are down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We've finished 2. We'll head to the third. No score here at Bluffton High School.
Bluffton Tire, you know where they're located, across the street from Bummy's, right at the entrance to the 4-H park, has been serving Wells County for over 50 years. Bluffton Tire needs to be the first stop for brakes, struts, front-end alignment, and offers over 20 different brands of tires. Stop by and see Terry Jennis today or visit online at BlufftonTire.com for online specials and coupons. Bluffton Tire is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hi, this is Terry Jennis at Bluffton Tire, and we'll keep you going.
Welcome to the new Heidi Automotive Group. We have a brand new state-of-the-art facility. Now you can shop for a new Chevrolet, Buick, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, or Chrysler at the same location right here in Bluffton, Indiana. We have a huge selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and crossovers. We focus on quality, and that is why we certify our pre-owned inventory so you get more warranty, free maintenance, and peace of mind. Don't worry about your credit. We have financing options for everyone. Heidi Automotive Group, a new look, but old-fashioned integrity.
Welcome back to Bluffton High School. Gavin King still on the mound for your Tigers. He'll face the top of the lineup for Norwell for the second time. Caleb Kohler, Garrett Waybright, and Colin Schwartz. King threw a lot of pitches in that second inning, 28 of them. He's up to 41 on the game. Conversely, Quentin Middleton has thrown a total of 17 pitches.
17, wow.
Threw 10 in the first and 7 in the second. He's certainly pitching to contact. And frankly, just looking at his motion, he is not giving it 100% of velocity today, which is smart as they head into the postseason. As that first pitch to Kohler bounces off the catcher's glove, it'll be ball one.
So again, Greg mentioned sectional play next week. That will start up. Tigers drew South Adams. Knights drew Mississinawa.
Tell you, seeing South Adams earlier in the season, Scott, I was impressed with that club. That's probably as good a team as they've had in a number of years. King looking in for the sign and brings the 2-0 pitch. It's outside and high. Go ahead.
Gavin has fallen behind several batters here early in the game. He's got a couple of walks.
Mm-hmm. 2 walks. In fact, Kohler walked the last time he was up, and he's got a 3-0 count, and there's ball 4. So Kohler on base twice already in this one with walks from Gavin King. It'll be interesting to see how long Coach Harold stays with King, considering the weather and his pitch count and so forth, and the last game of the regular season for both clubs, as I understand it, right?
It is. Tigers a little short-handed. They lost a couple of ball players due to some undisclosed incidents, and so if you wondered why the lineup has changed a little bit.
Did not know that.
Colton Moore and Eli Inskeep not available.
First pitch to Waybright is high. He grounded out back to the pitcher back in the first inning. Garrett, the junior second baseman, as King checks Kohler at first base. Kohler was off to a pretty big lead. He went back sliding head first. And he jumps out to a big lead as well. But he's got both feet outside of the cutout. As King comes to the plate, that pitch catches the outside corner and evens the count at 1-1. Colin Schwartz waits on deck for the Knights. Quentin Middleton behind him. The Knights heavily right-handed in their lineup, and the throw over picks off Kohler, the throw down to second, and he is out.
Got him.
So Kohler picked off. The out goes 1-3-6. Caught stealing.
All right, Greg, you are my go-to guy for scorekeeping, and I got an interesting scenario I want to run by you when we get an opportunity.
That pitch is inside to Waybright, and the count goes to 2-1. Well, Scott, if I don't know it for sure, I'll make something up. As the 2-1 pitch on its way from King catches the outside corner.
Okay, so here's the scenario. You got runners at first and third.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's one out. Okay. Fly ball gets hit to left field.
This is grounded towards third off the body of the third baseman, and the throw will be late. And I think we got to give that one an error. E5. So Waybright on first base for the Knights.
Okay, so first and third, one down.
Fly ball
to left. It is deep enough that it would probably score the run from third.
Right.
Okay. So the fly ball is dropped.
Okay.
I'll wait for the pitch here.
First pitch is
there goes
high,
the runner.
And safe at second base is Garrett Waybright with the stolen base. Pitch was called a ball to Schwartz.
So the fly ball is dropped. Obviously, the runner at first has got a hold, waiting to see if the fly ball is going to get caught or not.
Should have been halfway.
right? He's able to pick the outfielder's able to pick up the ball, throw it to second, get the force out at second.
Correct.
So the batter's on first, right? The run ends up scoring, okay?
2 outs.
So now the question is, does that batter get the RBI? And is it an official at bat?
Certainly, it's an official at bat. The ball, it's kind of a tough break for the batter because normally that would be a sacrifice
fly, right?
However, when I would score it as an E7 to score the run. Now, you could certainly, I mean, it's in the scorer's judgment. You could certainly make the argument that.
So if you call it E7, does the batter pick up the RBI?
No, he doesn't.
Even though from a judgment standpoint, you would say that's a sacrifice fly, he'd pick up the RBI and not have an official at bat.
You can do that, actually, as a wild pitch.
So now if you call an error, it's going to be an at bat, and he's going to lose the RBI.
That's correct. Yeah, and that is actually you have to give the. Well, I guess you don't have to because the out was made at second, right?
Right, the out was made at second.
So you do not have to give. That ball is grounded down the third base line. That'll be an RBI single for Schwartz as he makes a big turn at first base. Garrett Waybright comes across the plate with the first run of the game. RBI for Schwartz, and the Knights lead it 1-0. That just snuck under the glove of the third baseman, Everett Johnson. He gave it a good effort, laying out for it, but couldn't quite corral it. But yeah, Scott, that is strictly a scores. It's tough to comment on the play because I didn't see the play. But if I, as the scorer, believe that ball would score the runner if it were caught, I could give the batter a sacrifice fly.
Or could you call it, since the out was recorded at second, could you call it a fielder's choice and still give the batter the RBI and credit it as an at-bat?
Yeah, you could.
So there's almost 3 ways that could get scored.
Yep, there is in that particular case. And it all depends on the judgment of the official scorer. Oh, that ball's hit hard to center field. That's deep as it is tracked down at the warning track out there by
Dominic Cahola.
Middleton put a charge into that one. But with the wind and the conditions, it stays in the park. That'll be the second out of the inning.
So second scenario, and again, I think you were the person who taught me this rule. I didn't actually know this until you had instructed me when we did a game together up at Norwell.
Levi Long stepping in, by the way.
So pop up in foul territory, okay? Runner moving on the play, throw down the second, close but not in time, a stolen base.
Stolen base for Colin Schwartz.
Yeah, I'll bet he's not moving
those
too often.
The pitch, I believe, was called a strike.
So pop-up, foul territory, should be caught, is dropped. Now, I think at the time you had instructed me if that batter gets on, that becomes an error.
Absolutely.
All right, now we'll finish this scenario here after this pitch.
Oh, that's hit hard to left field. That could be extra bases if it's fair, but it goes foul. And that'll be an 0-2 count now on Levi Long.
Okay, so pop-up, foul territory, third baseman drops the foul ball, right? Batter then subsequently grounds to short, gets on due to an error on the shortstop. Is there 2 errors recorded in that play?
No, that's just one error. As the shortstop could have saved the out by making the play, but you can't penalize both players on the error in that particular situation. An error only occurs if something happens positive for the other side. So, for example, and this happens all the time, as that pitch is swung at and missed, that'll end the inning. However, the Knights get on the board. They score a run on one hit. They leave one man on. There was an error in the inning, and the Knights lead it after 2.5, 1-0 here at Bluffton.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
The $5 flavor menu is now available from your local Pizza Hut on North Main Street in Bluffton. To place an order, call 824-5701 or order online at pizzahut.com. Hi, this is Dale from the Voice Enterprises. For countless years, I struggled with back pain, and more often than not, the doctors would just prescribe pain meds, which would just dull the pain. It wasn't until I was referred to Indiana Physical Therapy that I truly experienced pain relief. The professionals at IPT showed me the correct exercises and stretches for my problems, and my back pain began to fade away, and as a result, my entire body began to feel better. Indiana Physical Therapy's highly trained professionals treat all types of injuries and ailments and accept all insurance. For more information on IPT or to schedule an appointment, call 824-0522 or visit indianapt.com.
Welcome back. Bottom of the third for the Tigers. Leading off here in the third is Landon Harris. First pitch to Harris is roped to second. Waybright Fields throws the first, 1 pitch, 1 out, and that has been the story for Quentin Middleton. Quick at-bats as the Tigers swinging at early strikes.
Just to finish the discussion on what you call an error and what you don't, Scott, 2 very common things happen that there's no error charge. For example, a double play ball. Shortstop makes the turn, throws it away, clearly would have got the guy at first to get the second out, but if the runner doesn't advance, there's no error because there's no advancement of the runner, and you can't assume the double play. It's the first pitch in there for a ball to Eisenhut. The second very common circumstance is where that ball's hit back to Middleton. He'll run it halfway to first. And
so another quick at-bat for Middleton.
2 outs here already in the bottom of the third. And then, of course, the other one, and you've seen this all the time, especially at the high school level, bloop fly ball into the outfield. The outfielder coming in hard drops it with a guy on first, gets the force out at second base.
Right.
Just similar to the play that you were describing earlier. No error on that play either.
Yeah, again, the only difference between those two scenarios, in the first scenario, which you talked about earlier, a run scores, right?
Yeah. And it's certainly more than fair to give the batter a sacrifice fly and not charge him with an at-bat.
Dominic Hohola at the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down here in the bottom of the third in a game that at this point Thursday night we were still in the top of the first. Ground ball towards second. Waybright, busy guy out there, will throw out Hohola, and the Tigers are done. We haven't even gotten through our stories in this half inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We finished 3. We head to the fourth. 1-0 Knights here at Bluffton High School. We'll be right back.
Every team knows that the 3-point play can be a winning move. That's why State Farm and me, Kevin Beatty, and my team are here to help you go for 3 by combining your home, auto, and life insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home, auto, and life. It's just another way we're here to help things go right. So call me, State Farm Agent Kevin Beatty, at 824-1928 or in Bern at 589-2077.
The Bowling Center in Bluffton has Friday Night Trio League for ages 4 through 19 with sign-ups going on now. This 10-week league is at 7 p.m. on Fridays for $8.25 per week for 3 games and shoes. Also on Friday, it's Friday Fun from noon to 6 p.m. Bowl for just $1 and shoe rental is only 50 cents. The Bowling Center, 1231 South Scott Street in Bluffton. Visit bowlbluffton.com.
Welcome back to Bluffton. We head into the top of the fourth. Gavin Kingston on the mound for the Tigers. Thrown 61 pitches to this point, and to this point, the most remarkable thing about this game, Quentin Middleton through 3 innings has only thrown 23
pitches.
That's not as many as
that's like less than 8 pitches per inning.
Exactly. He's just inducing a lot of weak contact, a lot of ground outs, and you alluded to it, Scott. Garrett Waybright has already had 3 plays at second base. The shortstop has had a couple, and Brady with a couple in the infield as well. King will face Ian Clark to start this 4th inning, and Ian takes a strike over the outside corner. You know, King's done a pretty good job. He's got a little bit of arm side run on that fastball, and he's kept it away from the barrel for the most part, as that's tapped weakly toward the mound. King off the mound quickly and throws out Clark.
Yeah, no, we've talked about it a number of times already. I think if Gavin has been a little bit more accurate on his early pitches,
yes,
that might be a difference maker right now. Of course, it's only 1-0. He's only given up a couple of hits.
Yeah, the walks have hurt him early on here. The Knights with just one hit through the first 3 1/3 as Breggy swings and misses.
I got him for two. I got him for two hits.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Yep.
I'm never right when it comes to scorebook work with you.
No, you're great. As Breggy takes a front door slider for strike 2. Yep, you're exactly right. As Colin Schwartz with a hit for the Knights, as well as Ian Clark. And Breggy goes down swinging 3 pitches, 1 out, and there's 2 outs now here in the top of the 4th. That's what messed me up.
Well, we certainly don't mind that this game is cruising along.
Absolutely not. As the sun is trying to peek out, Levi Lighting stepping in. He bunts out in front of the mound. That's going to be a tough play for King. Makes a good, strong throw to first, and Leidig is retired for the last out of the top of the 4th inning. Nice quick inning there for Gavin King. The Knights come up empty in the top of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We'll be back.
T.W. Fable, a modern American restaurant, is now open at Timber Ridge Golf Course, 2330 East, 250 North in Bluffton, and it's bigger and better than ever. You can enjoy the same fine dining experience Tuesday through Thursday, 5 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 5 to 10. Reservations are recommended by calling 260-353-1360. Everyone is welcome at T.W. Fable.
Troxel Equipment offers a full line of John Deere equipment. Troxel Equipment features a large inventory of all makes and models of pre-owned equipment that has been well maintained and ready for service. Most of Troxel's pre-owned equipment was traded in from owner-operators. Be sure to ask about our certified pre-owned units. Troxel Equipment has the ability to customize your financing, lease, or installment contracts to meet your cash flow needs. Visit any of our 3 locations in Bluffton, Huntington, or Wabash, or check out our website for our inventory of new and pre-owned equipment. Troxel Equipment, the dealership you can trust.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. Scott Mentzer, Greg Van Meter on the call. That's right, we have 2 voices here on the Bluffton baseball game.
Well, with the overtime pay, I was more than happy to come down and join you, Scott.
Question, what? Time and a half? Are you kidding me? I can't wait to get down.
Now the multiplier.
Well, yeah,
the key number in that equation. Right. Now, just happy to be with you, Scott.
Tigers leading off here in the top of the 1st. They'll have their top of the order. Gavin King leads things off. Gavin grounded out to third his first time up, squares around the bunt, pulls it back, takes it for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to King.
To this point, Scott, Quentin Middleton's faced 9 batters, and none of them have reached base.
King Coral Kohlenbeck here in the 4th. That ball is hit hard in the gap and off the glove. Out in left field, King will turn first and stroll in the second, and I'll let Greg call that. I'm not going to touch that one.
Yeah, that's a ball that probably should have been caught by Ian Clark out in left field, but it was hit hard, so we will give Gavin King a double.
All right, first hit for the Tigers, and they've got a leadoff runner on second for Max Coral, the first baseman. Coral grounded out to short his first time up. He's 0 for 1.
Again, that scorer's judgment making all the difference in Gavin King's
batting average. And you get a little benefit when you're on home field, right?
That's right. Yeah, that is true. In the minor leagues, lots of times scoring will change after the game, sometimes long after the game.
Is that right?
It happens in the big leagues, too.
And who makes that designation to make the change? I mean, who is...
The official scorer. You appeal to the official scorer, and
So do teams make an appeal?
Yeah.
They see the box score and say, hey, go back and relook at this.
Yeah.
We think this is a hit, not an error.
That's right. That's exactly right. They'll actually look at the scoreboard, when the play happens. And, somebody will make a note of that as the pitch is bunted at and missed, but it gets by Schwartz. That'll be a pass ball to move Gavin King up to third base. And it'll be now a 1-2 count on Max Coral.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Coral, runner at third, nobody out. As Tigers looking to move the runner over, and they got it done via the pass ball. The 1-2 pitch coming. Just want to put this ball in play, pops it up, and over top of the Norwell dugout.
Yeah, lots of times, Scott, the eventual outcome of the play depends on your prospect status in minor league ball. And your salary at the big league level.
Yeah, I hear you. The 1-2 pitch, just outside, it's 2-2. And again, if you're Bluffton, get this ball in play. On the ground somewhere, fly ball out in the right field, make the defense work.
Norwell's conceding the run in the infield. Their infield's back.
Coral fouls another one off. Count remains 2-2. Coolin back on deck. Tigers with a great chance to tie this ball game up with a runner at third. Nobody out. Middleton at the belt, the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and that's exactly what you don't want to see if you're a Tiger fan, is a strikeout with a runner at third, nobody down.
Well, Quentin went slowest in that at-bat.
Sure did. Runner at third, 1 down now. Mitchell Colin back to the plate.
Coach McLean's going to jog out to the mound and have a discussion.
Mitchell is 0 for 1. He grounded out to second his first time up.
I'll tell you what, Gavin King needs to be on his toes down at third base. Not a lot of reason for Coach McLean to be out there right now other than to call some kind of a play. Quentin Middleton still cruising, barely at 30 pitches on the day. And there's not a lot of heavy Scotty reports at the high school level. He's not telling him what to throw to
yeah, that's right. So you're saying he's not out there talking about Kohlenbeck's tendencies or anything?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. He might be. He does bring in the infield now with Kohlenbeck at the plate.
First pitch is fouled off. No balls, 1 strike to Kohlenbeck. Clayton Thompson on deck. Tigers trying to tie this game up at 1. They've got King at second. He doubled, went to third on a pass ball.
He's not getting a big lead off. There, he got a good secondary.
And that ball is going to get behind Colin Schwartz, and this ball game is going to be tied. And I'll let Greg determine whether that's a pass ball or a wild pitch.
It was behind the head of Mitchell Kohlenbeck, so we'll score that a wild pitch. And this game is tied up at 1.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Base is now empty for the senior, Mitchell Kohlenbeck.
It was a tough play for Schwartz, I thought.
It's fouled off down the first base line. Count will run to 1-2.
And since I have the golden pencil.
You have the golden pencil, is right.
That's the way it's going to be. Now, if somebody wants to appeal to me after the
game.
I
kind of like shifting that responsibility for making those decisions to the left here.
Yeah.
Any inquiries on scorekeeping, you can email those to Tap swing, grounds at the second. Another play for Waybright. We'll throw Kohlenbeck out. There's 2 down for Clayton Thompson.
Yeah, I've actually seen situations or heard of situations at the minor league level where the manager will actually send a pitcher who's not going to pitch that day, one of the starting pitchers. They'll send him up to the score box during the game
and say, "Hey, look, go tell that guy."
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, now, that doesn't happen very often, but occasionally it's egregious enough that does happen.
First pitch to Thompson is a called ball. 1 ball, no strikes. So Clayton, and that's low, 2-0.
Clayton grounded out to third his last time up. Swinging from the left side.
Fouled off right into the Tiger dugout screen.
Boy, heads up Everett Johnson there.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Did you see in the Cubs game, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, Addison Russell?
No, I didn't.
Lost his bat twice.
Ground ball right back to the mound. Middleton will throw out Thompson. Tigers are done, but not before they pick up the tying run. 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors?
No errors.
No errors and nobody left on base. We go to the top of the 5th. 1-1 here at Bluffton High School.
This is Dan and Jane with Daniel's Jewelers in Bluffton.
We want to remind everyone that we do in-house repair with our specialty being restoration and resetting.
Jewelry that is worn frequently over the years usually needs some TLC, wrong retipping, resetting, or sizing.
It's so much fun to see the customer's reaction when they see their jewelry looking almost brand new.
Or maybe it's time for a new style. Choose from all styles of settings or let us design one just for you.
Daniel's Jewelers, North Main Street, Bluffton, where personal attention and trust become part of the memory.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. We go to the top of the 5th. Norwell Knights coming up. Well, Greg, one of the big sports events for me, now most people who have listened to me for a long time know that I am a Philadelphia fan. So given how dreadful some of the Philadelphia teams have been over the last several years, a big event is the NBA lottery.
Yep.
And the Sixers win the number 3 pick in the lottery.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And I was curious what your thoughts were in terms of the top 3 college guys coming out of college basketball.
I would have a tough time picking against the kid from Kentucky. Is it Malik? Not Malik.
Monk? Malik Monk?
Oh,
you like him, huh?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Every time, and maybe it was just from what I saw, but he's so long. He can defend every position because he's got good athleticism and speed. We got a pinch hitter here for the Knights, number 77. Batting for Tyler Skiles. That is, who is number 77?
not on my list. I don't know.
There we go. Thank you, sir. It's Corbin Costello, the pinch hitter here for Skiles. Now, Skiles can re-enter, so we'll see if Costello, who is normally a catcher on the JV squad, also goes out to right field. But he's behind quickly in the count here, 0-2 from Gavin King. And King, who was at 67, he had a great 4th inning, 67 pitches overall. That's grounded towards third. It's booted there by the third baseman. The throw across is going to be late, and that'll be the second error of the day on Everett Johnson. Corbin Costello reaches here in this varsity game. But, I really like Monk. I think the ball kid is going to really struggle at the NBA level. Don't think he's the number 1 pick. I think if the Lakers want him, I think they can have him.
So what do you think of the Fultz kid? I mean, he's kind of the consensus number 1 right now.
Yeah, he is. I just think Monk has such an upside. I think he's, from what I've heard, a very coachable kid. And he would be my first pick, but obviously way smarter people than I are going to make those decisions. But it's an exciting opportunity for your 76ers as a count now 2-0 to Kohler, facing King for the 3rd time. He's walked twice. This time, Costello on at first. The 2-0 swung at and missed. And it'll run it to 2-1 now to Kohler. Garrett Waybright waits on deck for the Knights. Colin Schwartz in the hole. Waybright has been a busy man at second base today.
Yeah, he sure has, and done a nice job.
Yeah, he really has. He's ranged far to his left on a couple of plays. Had to charge a couple. That wind still howling in from right field. The pitch is called a strike. The runner on the move, and Costello will...
Well, he's got pretty good wheels for a catcher.
Well, he had been playing shortstop for the most part. until...
Oh, we got pinch runner out there. Okay.
That's Skiles back in there, actually. I believe that's number 12, isn't it, Scott?
It looks like it. So Skiles picks up the stolen base.
And Skiles does have good speed. That's flown out to short left field. Kuhlenbeck back from his shortstop position to make the play, and that's the first time today Caleb Kohler has been retired. 1 out here in the top of the 5th as Skiles out there at second base. So Costello just hit. That means Skiles will be back in right field for unless he's substituted for the bottom of the 5th. King now facing Garrett Waybright with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Nobody holding Tyler on, and he's got a huge lead. Now, I've seen him actually picked off one time, but not afraid to be in a... Look at the lead he's got, Scott. That's flown into right field, and that is going to get down for a base hit. Skiles kind of had to wait to see if that was going to be caught. And Waybright will move up to second base as there's an E2 in the middle of the infield. Waybright with his first hit of the day.
And right there, if you want to have a perfect explanation as why cutoff throws are so important, there's a perfect example of that. That cutoff throw has got to be made to keep that runner at first. Now the Knights are going to be sitting at second and third with 1 down with the meat of their order coming up.
Well, and it puts so much more pressure on the pitcher. I mean, mentally, if that runner's held at first base, he's only got to make 1 good pitch and he's out of the inning.
Right.
Double play ball. Now, he's got to be fine to the next hitter unless they put him on, which I don't think they'll do. But very good hitter coming up in Colin Schwartz. And they may put him on with a base empty. Colin already with a hit and an RBI today. Nope, looks like they're going to pitch to him, Scott. The infield is in for the Tigers.
The infield in.
Waybright at second. Skiles at third. And the first pitch from King is fouled at the plate. That'll be strike 1 to Colin Schwartz. We're in the top of the 5th, all tied up at 1.
And for Gavin, pretty frustrating inning. You know, first a runner reached base on an error, so you should have had 1 out to begin with. No question on the single, but it certainly wasn't a pitch that was hit all that hard.
Right, well placed.
And I think he just hit Schwartz.
Yeah, he sure did.
Now the bases will be loaded, so they effectively give him a pass. We'll get a courtesy runner.
Yeah, that is not that's not a bad thing to have happen for Bluffton as number 2 for the Knights out to that's Trevor Wilson. Thanks, sir. Out to run for Schwartz, and a hard hit ball from Quentin Middleton. That's going to get through the infield. 1 run scores, a second run coming across the plate, and a big 2 RBI single for Quentin Middleton on the first pitch. The infield was in for Bluffton, and I think if they'd have been back, Scott.
Right. Well, there you go. They're drawn in infield, and that's what you give up in that situation. And I guess I don't know, 1 out, you've got the bases loaded. Maybe you drop that infield back and look for the double play ball.
Yeah.
And the ball hit that hard, you've got a shot at turning that.
Yeah, I do not know why the infield was in on that play.
And that's one of the reasons why you would load the bases up, right?
Exactly.
So you could drop your infield back.
Yeah, you put your middle infielders at double play depth. You have your corners in just in case to protect against maybe a squeeze play. So I don't know what the strategy was there, but it certainly did not pay off for the Tigers. The Knights now with a 3-1 lead in the top of the 5th, and there's going to be a pitching change.
Looks like Max Coyle is going to come on for the pitching change. We'll take a quick time out and come back and get you caught up.
Located in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the University of St. Francis is a private Catholic university enrolling 2,300 students in majors ranging from the liberal arts to the creative arts to the health services. Small class sizes, personal attention, and the freedom to explore your options. A USF education has a lot to offer. Visit their beautiful campus and see for yourself how you can be a part of the University of St. Francis. Visit usf.edu to learn more about the University of St. Francis. The new Kayla Nickel Foundation Family YMCA 550 West Dustman Road in Bluffton is now open and invites you to stop by and take a tour of the new facility. When you join the Y, you're not just a member of a facility, you're part of a community, surrounded by friends as well as caring and knowledgeable staff. Here are just a few of the benefits of joining the Y. Unlimited participation in group exercise classes, free child care while you work out, and free private health and wellness consultations. You don't want to miss out on all your local YMCA has to offer. To learn more, visit fwymca.org.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. Pitching change for the Tigers. Max Coral will take over the bump. Gavin King will move over to first base, as the Knights have jumped out to a 3-1 lead, and they will have a runner at third, one down.
And both of the runners...
Runner at first and third, first and third.
Yeah. Let's see, that's a pinch runner for Schwartz at third. That's Middleton on at first, as that ball's grounded through the hole. Well, it's stopped deep in the hole by Kuhlenbeck, but that'll be an infield single and an RBI for Levi Long, and it'll make it 4-1 Knights, as Trevor Wilson scores from third. Middleton out at second is still the responsibility of Gavin King, as Coral's first pitch to Clark floats in a little bit high. That was pretty close.
That was pretty close, yep.
Still just one out here in the top of the fifth. A couple of runners on for the Knights, as the right-handed Coral spins, throws back to second on the pickoff play, but Eisenhut's tag too late to get Middleton there. Middleton with the big hit of the inning. His RBI single brought in 2. And that was followed up by Long's RBI single. That's popped up and over our heads and out of play. That'll even the count at 1-1. Knights with 3 so far in this fifth inning, and looking for more with just one out. Been looking at a left-hander all day, now facing the right-handed Corals. That pitch is in the dirt, but blocked nicely by Heller. Count will go to 2-1 on Clark. Garrison Breggy waiting in the on-deck circle for the Knights. The wind continues to whistle in over the right field fence. The 2-1 high, ball 3. And Coral in danger of loading the bases here. It's the bottom third of the order following Clark. That pitch is called on the outside corner. Yep, the inside red seam caught the outside black on that one. That fills up the count.
That one stitch just happened to catch the black.
Yep, so says the robo-ump. That's lined into center field, and that'll be down for a hit. As actually it will not be a hit. Good heads-up play out there by Dominic Cajola to get the force out. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Ian Clark. Middleton on the play moves up to third. Remaining at first base was Levi Long, and that's the second out of the... Well, wait a minute. Long was forced at second, 8-4 for the second out. There we go. That'll bring Garrison Breggy to the plate. Breggy swinging from the left side. He's up the front of the box, facing Coral, and swings and misses at the first pitch. Garrison walked his first time up, struck out swinging his last time. If he can keep the inning going, Leidig waits on deck. This is the 8th batter of the inning for the Knights. They've succeeded in knocking King out of the game, and that pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2.
This is always kind of a dangerous pitch in high school baseball.
0-2.
0-2 with a runner at third. You're tempted to kind of waste one here, but you don't want to waste it so much that you throw a wild pitch.
Yeah.
There goes the runner.
It's fouled down the first base line. Yep. You know, as you go up the ladder, this pitch is always buried, and you just trust.
Your catcher's going to handle it.
Yeah. It takes something really odd to happen for that to be a bad thing. But, boy, at the high school level, you almost want to keep it out of the dirt and off the plate. The 0-2 is outside and high. The runner stops on his way to second.
Right, stop it just to try to see if he can coax that throw from the catcher. Tigers opting not to throw down the second.
So 2 runners in scoring position for the Knights here with 2 outs. Brady with an opportunity to widen the Norwell lead. He swings and misses. That'll end the inning. However, the Knights do come up with 3 runs here in the top of the 5th. On 3 hits, they leave 2 men on. There was an error in the inning, and at the end of 4 1/2, it's Norwell 3, Bluffton 1.
Bluffton Tire, you know where they're located, across the street from Bummy's, right at the entrance to the 4-H Park, has been serving Wells County for over 50 years. Bluffton Tire needs to be the first stop for brakes, struts, front-end alignment, and offers over 20 different brands of tires. Stop by and see Carrie Jennis today or visit online at BlufftonTire.com for online specials and coupons. Bluffton Tire is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hi, this is Carrie Jennis at Bluffton Tire, and we'll keep you going.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. Tigers in the 5th will have Johnson, Heller, and Harris facing Quentin Middleton. Middleton has pretty much cruised through this game aside from a double by Gavin King and a pass ball allowed him to reach third and subsequently score, but for the most part, Quentin has had his way with this Bluffton Tiger lineup. Greg, how's Josh doing? Let's get a Josh update.
Yeah, he's doing real well, playing at the AA level, which is one step more between him and the show at this point, playing for the Pensacola Wahoos in the Southern League. That consists of several teams in Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and down through the Great South as that's flown out to right field.
That could be trouble, but coming over and making the grab is right fielder Tyler Skiles, and 1 pitch, 1 out again here in the bottom of the 5th for the Tigers.
Yeah, through 4 innings, Middleton had only thrown 40 pitches, but in any case, Josh is playing all over the field for the Wahoos. Played primarily at second early on, has moved over to third. Has played a couple games in left field in the interim, hitting about 283 after last night's 1 for 3 performance. Batting third in the Wahoos.
Third, nice.
So
low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mason Heller, the catcher. Heller so far today has grounded to short. He's 0 for 1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. So how does he like moving around like that?
He enjoys it. He knows, I think he realizes, well, I've told him, that's his quickest way to get to where he wants to be.
Tapped at the second, Waybright with another chance. Hustles it over to first and another put out for Mr. Waybright. And there's 2 down here in the 5th.
Well, the final line on Gavin King, he was charged with 4 runs, 3 of them earned, through 4 1/3, 75 pitches, 3 hits, 3 walks, 1 hit batter.
Landon Harris to the plate with the bases empty and 2 down. Okay, so he started the call that a strike, put his arm down, and decided it was going to be a ball. I would have called that a strike. 1 ball, no strikes, and Harris fouls it off, evens the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, bases empty. Norwell up by 3, 4-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. It's 1-2.
Middleton, we've talked about it a couple times. Extremely efficient today.
Now, has he seen a lot of changes as he's changed organizations? Slow roller to short. And good throw over to first. Tigers are down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll pick our conversation back up after our commercial break.
Hi, this is Dale from the Voice Enterprises. For countless years, I struggled with back pain. And more often than not, the doctors would just prescribe pain meds, which would just dull the pain. It wasn't until I was referred to Indiana Physical Therapy that I truly experienced pain relief. The professionals at IPT showed me the correct exercises and stretches for my problems, and my back pain began to fade away, and as a result, my entire body began to feel better. Indiana Physical Therapy's highly trained professionals treat all types of injuries and ailments and accept all insurance. For more information on IPT or to schedule an appointment, call 824-0522 or visit indianapt.com.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. Scott Menser, Greg Van Meter on the call, and Greg and I were talking about Josh, and Josh has moved from the Padre organization now over to the Reds organization, and again, from an organization standpoint and how they go about conducting their business, has he seen differences in how they go about handling their prospects?
You know, it really has surprised me, Scott, how big the differences are from organization to organization relatively. Now, there are certain things every organization does. You got to move your feet a certain way, so forth and so on. But each organization has a different hitting philosophy. They teach different things. Where you see the biggest difference is the way they handle things that are only partially related to play in the game. And by that I mean, okay, do they have a curfew? Do they not have a curfew? How do they have to do certain things in getting to and from the ballpark, you know, and how much they lift, how much they don't lift, how much do they do yoga versus other, what's the nutrition like versus that. So that's where you see the really big differences between the organizations.
And from Josh's perspective, have those differences been kind of a net positive, or how has he felt about those changes?
Well, I'm certainly not going to speak bad about the Padres organization, because that's the organization that has given him a chance to do what he loves to do. But I can tell you that he has really enjoyed his time with the Reds to this point. That's all I'll say about that.
All right.
As Forrest Gump would say.
That's fair enough.
Isn't that Forrest Gump said that? That's all I'll say about that.
I think it is. Coral is going to walk the leadoff batter on 4 pitches, and the Knights will have a runner on.
It's just you know what it comes down to, Scott? A lot of it just comes down to communication. How do you communicate with your players? As we've got a pinch hitter now for Tyler Skiles. Again, it'll be number 45, Belden Glasgow.
And I don't know, maybe you don't know this, but are those kind of decisions typically being driven by the general manager of the big league club or the minor league staffs, or how does that kind of trickle through organizations like that?
Yeah, it starts with the philosophy of the president of operations, general manager. Almost every team has that kind of structure now, and then it's fed down through the organization, and everybody's just a little bit different. You know, the Cubs famously have Theo Epstein, Jed Hoyer running the organization, and they're well known throughout baseball as the best communicating organization in the game. You know, specific plans for each player, etc. But that's at different levels as the runner goes.
Yeah, ball in the dirt. Good stop by Howard. No chance at the runner.
That'll even the count 1-1. So that's really where you see the differences. And the interesting thing is, you know, in minor league baseball, it's what clicks. You know, for what works for one player.
Right.
Wow, that pitch called a strike.
Must be getting colder out there.
Yeah, must be. Well, what works for one player just won't work for another player. And so it's so many variables.
Hard hit right back up the middle. Rounding third, heading for the plate. And scoring is Leidig. RBI pinch hit single. Nicely done.
Glasgow, that's the first at bat I've seen him have this year at the varsity level. And it's a successful one.
He's saying, Coach, see?
That's what you got to do.
I ought to be up here a little bit more.
When you get the opportunity, you have got to come through. And in this case, Bluffton Gasco did just that.
And that's hit hard. Another back-to-back singles.
That was a well-struck ball by Caleb Kohler. His first hit of the day, he's 1 for 2 with a couple of walks.
Now batting number 6.
How many hits you have for the Knights? I think I've...
That is 7.
7, okay.
As Garrett Waybright steps in. Waybright 1 for 3 on the day. He singled and scored his last time up. 2 runners on for him. As that pitch is in the dirt and it gets by Heller, that'll move the runners up 1 station each. Kohler to second and Glasgow to third. So 2 runners in scoring position for the Knights. They already lead this one 5-1, I believe.
Yep, that's what I got.
Waybright, who's had a very good game in the field, being talked to right now by Coach McLean down the third baseline. Schwartz waits on deck. Middleton in the hole. Nobody out and already run in for the Knights. Coral trying to contain the damage here in the top of the 6th.
Tigers have their corners in.
Yeah.
Middle of the infield about halfway in.
Mm-hmm. The pitch high to Waybright, and he's got a hitter's count now, 2-0. As Coral faces Waybright for the first time. That pitch is low and away, and count will run to 3-0.
Green light here, 3-0.
Oh, you know what? I'm a big believer in swinging at 3-0. If it's your pitch, I mean, you got to.
I'm a big believer, especially in this situation where first base is open anyway.
Right.
Let him swing away and drive in those runs.
Of course, that pitch.
Not on that pitch, though.
No, that pitch bounced, and Waybright will be on base for the second time today with the second walk by Max Coral. Is it Max?
Max. Yes.
Yeah, okay. There's been a lot of Corals here at Bluffton.
Well, it's clearly
that is clearly
in the
Max.
scorebook.
I was looking over there, so that is clearly Max. There's no doubt. I can actually read that.
Schwartz. One of the few names in the book you probably can read pretty clearly.
Colin Schwartz steps in. He's already got 1 RBI today, and this is a good RBI opportunity for him. The infield has come in even a little bit farther as the second baseman with his toes on the infield grass. The 1-0 is taken low and away, ball 2. And Coral now having trouble finding the strike zone.
Yep, great pitch right now. I mean, really good hitter's pitch coming up 2-0. Bases loaded.
Yeah, you got to set on a fastball, looking at maybe on the inner third. The 2-0 pitch is high. Schwartz able to take it, and it's 3-0.
Well, Coach threw out a lot of pitchers against Homestead. He's got sectionals coming up. You got to wonder what his strategy right now is in terms of how he wants to use his pitchers.
The 3-0 pitch is swung at and skied to short center field. The center fielder gives way to the second baseman. An infield fly was called. That'll be the first out of the inning, and a good pitch by Coral.
Yeah, you got to wonder how much the wind impacted that. The wind has kind of shifted. It's now kind of blowing straight in from center field, and that ball may have looked like it was going to head to the outfield, but kind of got pulled into the infield.
Well, the center fielder came all the way to the infield cut, so Quentin Middleton stands in. He's already got 2 RBIs today as he swings and misses at the first pitch. Bases full of Knights, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The Knights up by 4. On at third is Glasgow. That pitch called a ball. On at second is Kohler, and Waybright's at first. Kohler with a huge lead out there at second base. He will score on anything that gets through the infield, and that pitch is called a strike. That'll take the count to 1-2 now on Middleton. Levi Long waits on deck for the Knights. Bluffton would have a very difficult time turning 2 the way they're aligned right now. That pitch floats high for ball 2. Boy,
well, this is kind of a similar situation what we had previously. Bases loaded, 1 down. They're keeping the infield pulled in.
Yeah. I mean, you certainly could get a force out at the plate as that pitch almost hit Middleton. It'll run the count full. I mean, certainly you got a better opportunity to get the out at the plate, but you got no chance to turn 2. Now, Coach Harold certainly knows his personnel better than we do. He may not feel real confident in the ability to turn 2, as that pitch to Middleton is ball 4. The Knights will score another one. Middleton picks up another RBI as Glasgow jogs in from third base.
I think this is going to be it for Max Coral as Coach Harold making his trip to a mound. So we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Every team knows that the three-point play can be a winning move. That's why State Farm and me, Kevin Beatty, and my team are here to help you go for 3 by combining your home, auto, and life insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home, auto, and life. It's just another way we're here to help things go right. So call me, State Farm Agent Kevin Beatty, at 824-1928 or in Bern at 589-2077.
The Bowling Center in Bluffton has Friday Night Trio League for ages 4 through 19 with sign-ups going on now. This 10-week league is at 7 p.m. on Fridays for $8.25 per week for 3 games and shoes. Also on Friday, it's Friday Fun from noon to 6 p.m. Bowl for just $1 and shoe rental is only 50 cents. The Bowling Center, 1231 South Scott Street in Bluffton. Visit bowlbluffton.com.
T.W. Fable, a modern American restaurant, is now open at Timber Ridge Golf Course, 2330 East, 250 North in Bluffton, and it's bigger and better than ever. You can enjoy the same fine dining experience Tuesday through Thursday, 5 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 5 to 10. Reservations are recommended by calling 260-353-1360. Everyone is welcome at T.W. Fable.
Troxel Equipment offers a full line of John Deere equipment. Troxel Equipment features a large inventory of all makes and models of pre-owned equipment that has been well maintained and ready for service. Most of Troxel's pre-owned equipment was traded in from owner-operators. Be sure to ask about our certified pre-owned units. Troxel Equipment has the ability to customize your financing, lease, or installment contracts to meet your cash flow needs. Visit any of our 3 locations in Bluffton, Huntington, or Wabash, or check out our website for our inventory of new and pre-owned equipment. Troxel Equipment, the dealership you can trust.
Well, yeah, pitching change here at Bluffton High School. Landon Harris has taken over the hill, and defensively, I think we've got Kevin King will head out to center field. Hohola will shift over to right, and I'm assuming Max Coral will go back to first base, so we'll see as they break up around the pitching mound what that looks like, but we should have Coral at first, Eisenhut at second, Kohlenbeck at third, Johnson at third. Around the outfield, it should be Norman, King, and Hohola from left to right, with Landon Johnson, the third Tiger pitcher, taking over the bump.
Well, Coral through 1 inning, got 3 outs. Total of 35 pitches, 3 hits, 3 walks, but his runs are still to be determined as he's got 3 of them still on the base paths. Stepping in is Levi Long for the Knights, and he hits the first pitch he sees hard. That is deep to center field, but the wind's going to keep it in the ballpark. Tagging and scoring from third is Kohler. That'll be a sacrifice fly. 8 for Levi Long in his second RBI of the game. That makes the score 7-1 Knights. And I'll tell you, on a normal day, Scott, that is a grand slam.
Yeah, that's gone. And again, for those of you who have listened to or been to a number of games here at Bluffton, you don't see the wind blowing in here very often. It is typically blowing out. And that pitch is going to go right back up the middle. That's going to score another run.
That was Caden Mann pinch hitting and getting a first pitch single for the Knights. He's just a sophomore, I believe. So Mann comes up with an RBI knock right up the middle.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach has gotten a lot of productivity out of his pinch hitters in this ball game.
He has. Scoring on the play, that would have been Garrett Waybright. Actually, did they score 2 on that play, Scott?
I don't think so, just one.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it was a sacrifice fly. That first pitch swinging again was Garrison Breggy, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning as Breggy grounds out 3 unassisted. The Knights bat around. They plate 4 runs here in the top of the 6th on 3 hits and a sacrifice fly. They leave 2 on. There were no errors in the inning, and after 5.5, it's Norwell 8, Bluffton 1.
Located in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the University of St. Francis is a private Catholic university enrolling 2,300 students in majors ranging from the liberal arts to the creative arts to the health services. Small class sizes, personal attention, and the freedom to explore your options. A USF education has a lot to offer. Visit their beautiful campus and see for yourself how you can be a part of the University of St. Francis. Visit usf.edu to learn more about the University of St. Francis.
Welcome back. New pitcher for the Knights, Christian Bohada on the hill.
Those are short A's, Scott. Bohada.
All right, I'll say that 3 times just to make sure.
Well, hey, believe me.
Bohada.
I said Bohada numerous times, and I was strongly corrected by our associate, Derek Decker.
Okay.
It is Bohada.
In honor of Derek Decker, who could not be here for some strange reason, he's opted to ump a baseball game rather than be on the air talking to the millions of listeners and viewers here on WellsCountyVoice.com. It is Christian Bohada in relief of Quentin Middleton, pitching here in the 6th to the Tigers, and leading off for the Tigers here in the 6th, Gabe Eisenhut. It'll be Eisenhut, Hohola, and the top of the order, Gavin King, for the Tigers, who now find themselves down by 7, batting in the bottom of the 6th. So Bohada's first pitch is a called strike on the inside part of the plate. No balls, 1 strike to the second baseman, Eisenhut.
Just figuring up Quentin Middleton's day.
Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 6th. And it's in the dirt, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Eisenhut. Hohola awaits on deck. Setting up on the outside part of the plate and missing wide. 2-2. Bohada working quickly, the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball, foul territory. First baseman drifting over and making the catch. Levi Long with the putout. There's 1 down here in the 6th.
Well, Quentin Middleton in line for the win for the Knights. Went 5 innings, struck out 2, threw a total of 49 pitches, and gave up just the 1 earned run on 1 hit.
Hohola to the plate. First pitch is low. So Greg and I were talking about Josh and his experience in AA baseball. Sports science, how much is that playing a role right now?
Huge part. And where you see it a lot, Scott, is in nutrition.
Yep.
The major leagues and minor leagues actually made a big commitment this year.
Ground ball to first, picked up. It'll step on the bag, another put out for Long here in the 6th.
At the major league level, each team now, they took away the per diems for food.
Okay.
Minor leaguers still have per diems, $25 a day when they're on the road. But they took away the per diems at the major league level at home, on the road. And they have full-time chefs now.
Right.
Yeah. So they eat in the clubhouse. And Josh has related to me that he really did not eat in the clubhouse that much unless there was a big leaguer in town buying, rehabbing. But he said the quality of the food has gotten so much better.
I'll bet. Well, it's interesting because, talk about my Philadelphia experience. The Sixers just built a brand new practice facility, and boy, they were practicing in a small college fly ball base hit. King with his second hit of the game. He's going to turn first and head for his second, and he is safe at second. Wow. Pretty gutsy play by Gavin King, but he's going to have his second double of the night.
Close play out there at second base.
So they built this great practice facility, and one of the big headlines was bringing in a really well-known chef to tailor all the meals for the players, and that was a big deal. Fly ball, this could find some ground, and it does. King had to hold to make sure that ball fell, so not scoring on the play, but the Tigers will have base runners at first and third with 2 down.
I'll tell you the other big thing now that they're putting a lot of time and study into, well, 2 things really, but when it comes generally, is sleep.
Sleep, yep. Okay, I can believe that.
They're studying sleep. They're studying the hours, the quality, putting sensors on guys at the big league level.
Quarterback swings at the first pitch, and it's going to go foul out of play.
And then the second thing that's becoming more and more prevalent is brain study, as far as the connection with the eyes, neuromuscular attributes. It's fascinating how technology is changing the game.
Opposite way, foul ball. And it's 0-2 now to Kohlenbeck.
If you're fascinated by those kinds of things.
Well, teams have so much invested in players.
Yeah.
You would think you should take that extra step.
Yep. And that's what they've learned. Baseball is a slow game to change, but I think Rob Manfred has made a big difference, from the owner's side. And I think Tony Clark has been a great head of the union.
Running on the play, throw down to second, got him, and boy.
That was not close.
It was not close, and Tigers need base runners. A little bit surprised they had him going on that situation. But nevertheless, a good throw by Colin Schwartz, throws the runner out at first. That was Max Coral, and the Tigers will go down. No runs. They do have a couple of hits. They will leave one. We go to the top of the 7th. Score remains 8-1 here at Bluffton High School. We'll be right back.
The new Kayla Nickel Foundation Family YMCA, 550 West Dustman Road in Bluffton, is now open and invites you to stop by and take a tour of the new facility. When you join the Y, you're not just a member of a facility, you're part of a community, surrounded by friends as well as caring and knowledgeable staff. Here are just a few of the benefits of joining the Y. Unlimited participation in group exercise classes, free child care while you work out, and free private health and wellness consultations. You don't want to miss out on all your local YMCA has to offer. To learn more, visit fwymca.org.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. Scott Menser, Greg Van are on the call, and Greg and I talk a little sports science in the professionals. And
it's at the college level now too. If you're going to a decent sized school, your exercise, your sleep, your nutrition, the things you put in your body, hydration, all being
speaking of hydration, the company that I work for, we make magnetic encoders, and we're actually working with Gatorade right now. We're building a little magnetic encoder right inside of the Gatorade bottle, and they use it for professional teams that when they're training, they actually monitor how much fluid they're taking in through the Gatorade bottle.
Isn't that something?
And and then checking, they actually check the player's hydration.
Yep.
They'll check the player's weight as they move throughout the practice arena, and again, monitoring that through the actual bottle passing the nozzle of the Gatorade cap.
Wow. Levi Leidig leading things off here for the Knights in the top of the 7th. Well, the other thing that's absolutely revolutionizing baseball, even at the minor league level, and it's used in some colleges as well, the bigger SEC, ACC, Pac-12, is StatCast, measuring every movement of the ball and the player on the field. And it is fascinating. Leidig with the ground ball. I think the pitcher might have touched that as it went through, so we'll give him credit for a 1-4-3 put out, first out of the inning.
Now batting number 44, Nunley.
And another pinch hitter in this number 9 slot. This is Brock Nunley with a varsity hitting opportunity.
Well, so far, the pinch hitter has been right on the mark. See if they can keep that up. Swung on and missed. No balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, Nunley, the fourth person to bat in this 9 slot for the Knights. It's scored 2 runs, created a hit. So it's worked out well, and an RBI as well, as that pitch low and away to even the count at 1-1. But now they've got these catch probability numbers, at the major league level. The other thing that's happened this year that you just didn't see before is now scoreboards with these advanced video boards that they have, they'll display exit velocity, launch angle,
really,
and so forth. As that pitch is called a strike.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you're a stat freak and love to see the numbers, it's a lot of fun. Nunley with the 2-2 pitch, swings and misses. That'll be the second out of the inning, and that'll be the first strikeout for Harris.
Well, for us old-timers, I mean, you certainly notice much more offset or off-balance infields anymore, where they're shifting an infielder over to one side of the infield, much more than you used to see years and years ago.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that. I saw some numbers on this just the other day, actually. It measured the on-base percentage of hitters since 2003, which was really the first they could get a good handle on shifting. So that's 2013, excuse me. So about four seasons worth, a little over 4 seasons worth. The difference in on-base percentage from that season on to this point, number of shifts versus not shifting, is a huge 1%.
1%. Is that 1%?
1% of on-base percentage is a count now 2 and 1.
That's pretty amazing that it's just 1%.
It's just 1%. Yeah. So now, the argument, of course, and the reason you keep doing it is because it may only be 1% overall, but if it saves the winning run,
right, that 1%'s
pretty doggone important. So, yeah, and that's and now today, that pitch called a strike just caught the outside corner.
Yeah, again, that is a cold morning strike, right?
Yeah, it sure is.
Late in the game, cold morning strike.
Yeah, we're in the top of the 7th as that ball is fouled off. Knights up 8-1 here.
Well, I tell you, it's not amazing, but it's always a point of conversation. My brother and I always go down to spring training every year. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we're Phillies fans, so we sit and watch as many games as we can. And so you see these shifted infields, and you think, how do players, they get to the major league level, and they can't hit opposite field? How is that possible?
Well, a lot of it's the way they're being pitched. Great argument. But, Josh gets shifted a lot as a left-handed hitter. And one thing that has really brought his numbers up this year over past years is the ability to just inside out that ball over the shortstop spot. Because the way he's normally shifted that pitch was called a ball. By the way, Caleb Kohler walked for the 3rd time. He's on at first base with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Garrett Wainwright at the plate. But they really shift him hard. That ball's lying down the third base line and foul. If Wainwright can get on, Colin Schwartz waits on deck. But, yeah, the ability to either lay down a bunt against that kind of a defense or go oppo as a left-handed hitter. Same thing right-handed, when they leave their right side empty is becoming more and more valued as the shifts are employed. 2-1 count now to Garrett Waybright. But in spring training, you're not going to see guys working on that either.
But why is that?
That they wouldn't work on it?
Yeah, that they wouldn't work on it.
Well, because
it's just not enough time.
They'll work on that in BP and so forth. In spring training games, you're trying to take the best hack you can. It's not about the numbers in a spring training game. I mean, you figure most guys are getting 2, maybe 3 towards the end of spring training, and they don't count. So, it's just a little bit different mindset.
Yeah, spring training is kind of neat because I know in the Philly structure they've kind of got the big ballpark now, and then they've got kind of the 4 ballpark back to the corners just within walking distance.
That is going to be in foul ground, and it is going to be corralled by the first baseman, Max Corral. That will end the inning. The Knights do not score. They leave 1 on. There was no hits in the inning, and we go into the bottom of the 7th. The Knights up 8-1.
Bluffton Tire, you know where they're located, across the street from Bummy's, right at the entrance to the 4-H Park, has been serving Wells County for over 50 years. Bluffton Tire needs to be the first stop for brakes, strut, alignment, and offers over 20 different brands of tires. Stop by and see Terry Jennis today or visit online at BlufftonTire.com for online specials and coupons. Bluffton Tire is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hi, this is Kerry Jennis at Bluffton Tire, and we'll keep you going.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. Bottom of the 7th, Knights up by 7. We got a pitching change for the Knights. Number 10 out there. And I don't know who number 10 is.
There's
10. No number 10 on my sheet.
Is Logan House. He's just a freshman.
Hey, Logan House will try to close things out for the Knights. So we're talking about Major League Baseball and spring training, and kind of the neat thing, when I go down to see the Phillies against, they have the minor league stadium, which now are all beautiful.
You're right.
And then they've got kind of their training complex where you've got 4 fields back to back to back. And, of course, there's a bunch of kind of minor league games going on during the day over there. You can see a lot of the prospects when you walk over there. Mm-hmm. But if you're a major leaguer and you want to get a few more at-bats, you just kind of walk into any game you want to walk into and just walk up to the plate and hit.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what the lineup is. Just like, hey, I'm a major leaguer. I need a few more at-bats. You just walk up, swing the bat. Walk out of the game. Maybe you walk over to the other diamond, get another at bat.
Right, that's exactly right, and they'll do that, especially with the rehabbers.
Right, rehabbers. Yep, exactly.
They'll bat them in the 2-hole, and every time that spot comes up, they're in. Yeah, right. Or the other thing they'll do is every start of the inning, they'll have the same guy lead off the start of the inning. So it's interesting.
For the Knights here in the bottom of the 7th. Mitchell Kohlenbeck will lead things off. Bobby Lovis, I think that's Bobby on deck. Is that right? Or no, that's not Bobby. That's Connor Norman. Thank you. Chandler Pribble up here keeping us straight.
Thank goodness somebody is. Lord knows we need it, Scott.
2 balls, no strikes to Kohlenbeck.
Of course, Chandler, a lot of fun to watch over his career here at Bluffton.
Absolutely.
3-0 count to Kohlenbeck.
3 balls, no strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. We're in the 7th. Called strike, 3-1. Tigers need base runners. Then ball 4, Kohlenbeck will walk. And a leadoff batter on here in the 7th.
Now batting number 12, Connor Norman.
For Connor Norman. Norman was brought up from the JV squad. Again, Tigers missing a couple of players due to unspecified reasons. So Norman got the call up, got his first start against Southern Wells earlier in the week. Came on and pitched a couple innings against Homestead and did a nice job. Matter of fact, through that effort, he picked up the WellsCountyVoice.com player of the game and fouls that right back into the screen. No balls, 1 strike to Connor Norman. And the one thing that we all appreciated during that game, because the first half inning went 45 minutes, is Connor works very quickly on the mound. So we were buzzing through a couple innings and swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes to Norman. But he went out there and faced the Spartans with no fear. Did a nice job. He's going to pop this up. Make the grab.
That's a shortstop.
Kohler. I'm assuming
Kohler's
still out there.
Yep, he is. Wearing number 5. The final line for Harris was 1 2/3 innings pitched. 24 pitches, a hit, a strikeout, and a walk. Did not give up a run.
Here's Bobby Levis. That was just a batter too soon. Throw down the first, not in time. 1 ball, no strikes to Levis. Levis, the other senior on this Bluffton squad. So Kuhlenbeck, senior number 1 at first. Levis, senior number 2 at the plate. And a strike call to Levis. 1 ball, 1 strike to Levis. Of course, Mitchell Kuhlenbeck out at first base has had a really great career here at Bluffton. Standout tennis player. He was the MVP of the Tigers squad for the basketball team, first team ACAC. 4 years of baseball and involved in a number of other activities. Boy, that pitch didn't miss by much. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bobby Levis. And this will be the last time that these seniors will take the field here at Bluffton High School. Levis goes down swinging. There's 2 outs here in the 7th.
Now batting number 13, Dominic McPherson.
And another JV call-up. Dominic McPherson steps to the plate. McPherson got his first varsity at bat on Thursday in the Homestead game. Pitch is low and away for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to McPherson. 7-1 Knights as they look to wrap up their season with a W. Sectional matchups, Tigers will face South Adams. That'll be at Canterbury. Boy, that was a late game strike there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers, again, will have South Adams at Canterbury. Knights will have Mrs. Sinawa at Belmont. And we're just hoping the weather warms up a little bit because no dugout, no press boxes in either one of those venues.
Yeah, that's right.
Or there is a press box at Belmont.
Well, yeah.
We just never were able to actually sit in it.
Right. That's exactly right. It's too small. I mean, you just can't fit anybody in there besides the radio crew.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball, shallow center field, calling everybody off is Leidig, and this ball game is over. The Norwell Knights pick up an 8-1 win here at Bluffton High School. Greg will round out the stats, and we'll be right back with our final call.
Hi, this is Dale from the Voice Enterprises. For countless years, I struggled with back pain, and more often than not, the doctors would just prescribe pain meds, which would just dull the pain. It wasn't until I was referred to Indiana Physical Therapy that I truly experienced pain relief. The professionals at IPT showed me the correct exercises and stretches for my problems, and my back pain began to fade away, and as a result, my entire body began to feel better. Indiana Physical Therapy's highly trained professionals treat all types of injuries and ailments and accept all insurance. For more information on IPT or to schedule an appointment, call 824-0522 or visit indianapt.com.
Every team knows that the 3-point play can be a winning move. That's why State Farm and me, Kevin Beatty, and my team are here to help you go for 3 by combining your home, auto, and life insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home, auto, and life. It's just another way we're here to help things go right. So call me, State Farm Agent Kevin Beatty, at 824-1928 or in Bern at 589-2077.
The Bowling Center in Bluffton has Friday Night Trio League for ages 4 through 19 with sign-ups going on now. This 10-week league is at 7 p.m. on Fridays for $8.25 per week for 3 games and shoes. Also on Friday, it's Friday Fun from noon to 6 p.m. Bowl for just $1 and shoe rental is only 50 cents. The Bowling Center, 1231 South Scott Street in Bluffton. Visit bowlbluffton.com.
T.W. Fable, a modern American restaurant, is now open at Timber Ridge Golf Course, 2330 East, 250 North in Bluffton, and it's bigger and better than ever. You can enjoy the same fine dining experience Tuesday through Thursday, 5 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 5 to 10. Reservations are recommended by calling 260-353-1360. Everyone is welcome at T.W. Fable.
Welcome back to WellsCountyVoice.com. Coach Harold has made his way up here. And first, Coach, I just want to thank you for the sweatshirt.
Hey, no problem. Yeah, I know how that is sometimes.
Now, we do have a bet that happened before the game, whether or not I have to give back the sweatshirt or not.
Well, it would be nice. You never know. It's early in the season. It's nice to have that underneath sometimes. So.
Well, it is pretty nice, though.
Yeah, they're nice.
I like that. Can you put a word for to Mr. Thompson that maybe
hook you up a little bit?
Hook me up.
Yeah, we might. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Well, I tell you, I mean, especially coming off Thursday night. I mean, I thought the kids played pretty well here. They kept it close for the most part.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, and they kind of knew, unfortunately, where we were at right now. We just couldn't get 2 in today. We just couldn't with our arms and kind of where we were at. So it was nice to be able to have them come down, give them a little refresher before they go next week, and then also at the same time kind of see what our lineup's going to be next week going into the game against South Adams. I thought Gavin threw well to begin with, but he was kind of on a pitch limit. He was going to get kind of a deep bullpen in today and kind of see where he was at. I was able to see a couple other guys come out of the pen. Landon for the first part of the season was struggling to find strikes, and I thought he came out and pitched pretty well tonight, and then gave us a little bit of hope for what's to come this upcoming week. So they're a pretty good club. So.
Yeah, the one thing about Gavin, I thought if he would have gotten a few early strikes and got up in the counts a little bit.
Yeah, that's something that he's definitely got to get better on. He's young. He's learned a lot these first 2 seasons, but yeah, just getting ahead early and often, and it allows you to work to your second and sometimes your third pitch, and that allows you to get deep into ball games. That's just something that he's going to learn as he progresses. He's going to be a good one for us for the next few years. But yeah, that's just a maturity thing that he's going to have to learn and understand that strikeouts are sometimes they can be your worst nightmare as a pitcher. You kind of get the ball in play and you get deeper into ball games.
Yeah, one thing that I had wanted to mention on a couple occasions, and it kind of slipped by, but one thing about this squad this year is that we put the bat on the ball. There hasn't been a ton of games where you just look across the page and you just see scores of strikeouts throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the one time that we did, it was against South Adams, and Besser kind of carved us up pretty good. But, yeah, I mean, I think Mitchell's kind of been the last 2 seasons. He hits the ball hard right at people every single at bat. Yeah, I mean, we're young and they're hungry, and I think early in the season we pitched with velocity in the pins, and we pitched with velocity in the cage, and that got them prepared for what was possibly to come. And we haven't really seen velocity all year long, so that might have been good and bad. But yeah, they for the most part they get in there and they battle. I think early in this game for sure we were a little jittery. I guess maybe a little bit too free swinging. We didn't make them work too many counts, and I think that. Their number one that started off there, he was cruising because he didn't have to work too many deep counts.
Yeah, I think with Greg, we had like 23 pitches through 3.
Yeah, yep, and and that comes with time too. And you got a lot of sophomores in the lineup, and literally told Hohola before he went up in that one inning, "Hey, work a count here, first pitch swing." So he's like, "It's right there, coach." I was like, "Yeah, I understand, bud, but we gotta get it. We gotta get ourselves in a deep count and make that pitch count get up so that we can see what they got in the pin." So. It'll come.
So you talked about the South Adams. That probably wasn't the draw maybe you wanted to see coming up. I talked about that matchup a little bit.
I mean, they're good. Brad's a great coach, and he's got them ready to play, and they've been playing pretty well all year. I think I would imagine that, if I was going to be in his situation, I'd probably throw Besser because he's solid, and he's probably their pick to click to get out of the hole started. I'm excited for it. I mean, I think our boys are hungry. I think that they're excited for the challenge. We're going to prepare for him, but he's been dealing all year long. He beat this club early. He beat this Norwell club early in the season. no, I mean, we're up for the challenge. I mean, baseball is kind of one of those sports where anybody can beat anybody on any given day. I mean, it's just sometimes the way the ball bounces early, and sometimes success is contagious, and once you start hitting it well and throwing it well, it just kind of continues to just snowball into the right way. So
well, and to that point, Norwell draws Mississinawa right in their first game. Of course, Mississinawa was here for a doubleheader, and we picked up the back end of the doubleheader against a pretty good Mississinawa squad. So to your point, I mean, really, any given day, I mean, it's an old cliche, but really it's true.
Yeah, they're and I was talking to Andy before the ball game. I was asking him about what they were looking to do. They'll probably throw the kid. I would imagine Mississinawa will throw the righty that threw against us first game. He's got a good cutter, but I think they swing it very well. They're well coached. They're a good club, and I think Norwell will probably be pretty successful next week. But I'm looking forward to this week, getting prepared, getting rested up because we need it. We need some guys to just ice up and take some days off and just get prepared for next week so that we can go in and battle all the way through.
I did want to give a shout out to Connor coming in against Homestead on Thursday night, and I tell you what, the young kid threw pretty well.
He came. He's been coming with us a little bit here, probably since about the 3/4 of the way through the season, and he played a darn good ball game against Southern Wells the other night. Played right field for us, and I think he's probably a true middle infield guy. But he's just kind of like one of the people that we've had in the past. I mean, Kuhlenbeck for one. I think he's a middle infielder his whole life until he starts playing varsity baseball, and he finds a home at first base, and then this year he's been all over the diamond. But his brother was the same thing, and unfortunately Connor's got some pretty good guys ahead of him that are, unfortunately got the infield locked down, especially when Eli comes back next year healthy. And, we got pretty much everybody on the infield coming back besides Mitch. So, the future's bright, but the thing with this club is, they believe. You would think, you get loss and get another loss, and it just kind of continues going down that path, that they would get a little bit negative, and it'd be hard to come back and battle every day. But they haven't been like that. They've fought the good fight the whole way, and they're excited for every chance to play. So,
well, I'm sure part of that is Mitchell's influence.
Yeah, he's a great leader, and Bobby too, being that senior role. He got a chance here late in the season to get some at bats and to play, and he ended up performing pretty well for us, and it's good to see him get that opportunity. But yeah, as far as like a vocal leader, I don't know if we necessarily have one, but Mitchell is definitely always there in the background, making sure guys are doing things right, getting it done in the classroom, and then also making sure that we're working hard in practice. So it's good to see.
All right, Coach. Can you bring us a little decent weather in Canterbury?
I hope.
Because I don't have a press box out there, and if it's raining and I'm not geared up, I may be asking for another.
Yeah, I got a couple umbrellas or something, but yeah, we can find some. We can bring. I'm sure we could lobby for a tent. We could bring in one of our cross country tents or something. That
would be awesome. All right. Well, I promised to give you the sweatshirt back. Greg, got any final comments from today's game?
No, Coach, thought you did a great job with kids today.
Appreciate it.
You showed a great arm.
Yeah,
I thought.
I showed my age a little bit.
Well, no, I looked up and I saw that ball zipping back out to the mound.
It's not as good as it once was.
Yeah, I hear you. But fun to watch your boys today, obviously. A bunch of young guys that are getting better.
Yeah, it's good. Future's bright. Like I said, we got a couple 8th graders that I've been hounding in the hallways the last few days. Hey, you're playing baseball. You're not going to go run for Coach Kunkel next year.
There you go.
We need you. So
you got to recruit.
Is there a little battle that goes back and forth between spring coaches at that point?
I think it hasn't really in the past, but me helping him this fall, next season for football, I might have to go rounds with him. He'd probably win. He's a little bigger.
I know. I was a little upset with Coach Morgan last year when I didn't see Grant out there on the baseball diamond. I was like, hey, where's the influence here?
A little disappointed. To Grant's defense, he was able to compete in a state title.
No defense. We weren't Grant here on the baseball diamond.
I agree. We got some kids coming up, and there's definitely, for the first time, I think, in a long time, there's going to have to be some jobs that are won, and that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
That's kind of how it was at the beginning of the season on the middle infield, and Max has found a way to help us in a lot of different areas, and I think he's going to hold down first base probably for the most part next year, unless we get caught the injury bug, kind of like we did this year. But
sure,
no, it's good. We got a lot of guys that are hungry and that are going to work hard and do what we need them to do.
All right, Coach. Thanks as always, and I will bring back the sweatshirt before I get out of here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, Greg,
run through some stats.
Yeah, let's wrap things up here.
For the visiting Knights, Quentin Middleton picks up the win. He threw 5 innings, gave up an earned run on 49 pitches, 1 hit, and struck out 2. He was followed by Christian Bohata, who threw an inning and threw 12 pitches and gave up a couple of hits. Logan House threw the final inning for the Knights. He threw... I didn't add up his pitches. But in the neighborhood of about a dozen, maybe 15, and walked 1, did not give up anything else. For the Knights offensively, Caleb Kohler was 1 for 2 with 3 walks, scored a run. Garrett Waybright, 1 for 4, scored 3 times. Colin Schwartz was 1 for 3, hit by a pitch and had an RBI. Quentin Middleton, 1 for 3 as well. He had 2 RBIs and walked. Levi Long was 1 for 3 with 2 RBI. Ian Clark, 1 for 3 today. Caden Mann came off the bench and was 1 for 1 with an RBI. Garrison Breggy, 0 for 3 with a walk. Levi Leidig was 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. 4 batters in the 9th spot for the Knights today. Tyler Skiles was 0 for 1, but he did score a run. Corbin Costello was 0 for 1. Blennon Glasgow, 1 for 1, scored a run and had an RBI. And then Brock Nunley was 0 for 1. Overall, the Knights 8 runs on 8 hits. They left 9 men on base and did not commit an error. For your Bluffton Tigers, Gavin King was 2 for 3, a couple of doubles, and scored their lone run. Max Coral was 1 for 3. Mitch Kuhlenbeck was 0 for 2 and walked. Clayton Thompson 0 for 2. Connor Norman 0 for 1. Everett Johnson was 0 for 2. Bobby Lovis 0 for 1. Mason Heller 0 for 3. Landon Harris 0 for 2. Gabe Eisenhut 0 for 2, and Dominic Hohola 0 for 2 on the mound. Gavin King picked up the loss. He went 4 1/3 inning on 75 pitches, gave up 4 runs, 3 of them earned on 3 hits, 3 walks, hit a batter, and struck out 3. Max Coral threw an inning, 35 pitches, 3 hits, gave up 4 earned runs, as well as 3 walks, and struck out 1. And then Landon Harris through 1 2/3 innings, 24 pitches, struck out 1, gave up a hit, and walked 1. Overall, the Tigers 1 run on 3 hits. They left 2 men on base and committed a couple of errors.
All right, let's knock out our players of the game. I'll do the Bluffton player of the game. I'm going to go with Gavin King tonight. Again, Gavin threw pretty well. Got behind a few batters, but for the most part, I think with a couple of breaks, could have gotten out of there a little less unscathed than he did, and also had a couple of hits and scored the only Tiger run. So Gavin King from the Bluffton side. Greg, I'll throw it to you for the Norwell player of the game.
Well, obviously a shout-out to Quentin Middleton for being very effective on the mound tonight. But for me, for the Knights today, it was Garrett Waybright. He was 1 for 4, scored 3 times, and played a tremendous second base. Error-free at second with at least a half dozen chances out there, so Garrett's my guy today.
All right, there you go. Knights win this one 8-1. Greg, hey, it was great to have you back alongside.
A lot of fun.
Absolutely.
We talk long enough, the rain will start.
And right on cue, we get 1 game in and the rain starts to pour down. So whoever decided to only play 1, they were a literal genius.
That's right.
The bad news is we get to haul gear in the rain. And I've got to give up my sweatshirt before I walk out.
Yeah, that's the tough part for you today.
So thanks again for joining us here on WellsCountyVoice.com. 8-1 Knights on the Voice Sports Network. We will be back in action next week. Sectional play coming up.